Well, we've got a special guest tonight on eFIXX TV, and we don't mean Gary. It's turned up in the shape of the Lewden show van. Well, actually, we think it should have a name, Gary, don't we? It should. We're going to hopefully we'll circle back to that later on. Can you name this van? But it is like a mini Lewden catalogue on wheels, and it's got some of my favourite products in. We'll start with the XCE range. Listen to the power of that. That comes in now in a 63 amp version.
And it reminds me of the giant one we saw when we were in Italy at the factory, and we saw lots of these products being made. And we've also made lots of videos on these products as well. We've got the eFIXX one here, you know, for those people in those special circumstances, areas that you've worked in, Gordon.
It is, yeah, and electricians always ask us, is there an area you can step into to make more money? Here's a top tip. eFIXX is an area. You might have to go to some strange parts of the country where they have chemical works and things like that, but even distilleries have eFIXX in. A little bit of a insider knowledge for you there that I used to enjoy that.
That's perked my interest, the distillery, and this has also perked my interest, the Lewden Top Tier range. And now we've got it in unit number 2, and we've used this effectively as our own distribution board within that unit, haven't we?
Yeah, that's a great product for electricians to save loads of time on and get rid of loads of cables. If you haven't seen that, check it out. But we'll look at the rest of it here. We've got what looks like a Park Erin sized 3-phase consumer unit, and we'll come back to bigger consumer units later tonight with our special guest. But just to quickly circle around some of the other interesting products here, there's a huge range of Lewden isolators. One thing you might not be fitting at the moment is, or you will be fitting, but you might not be fitting for much longer, DC isolators for solar. We're going to come back to that later this month. However, you will be fitting changeover switches. That'll be an interesting topic to get into at some point as well. But all the other things, we've got the enclosures, we've got the lighting range, we've even got installed here as well at Lineside Studios. You might see that when we leave the studio late at night, and we've even got newer markets, feeder pillars for EV. But speaking to Graham, who drives this van around the country tirelessly, going all over the place, I suggest you drop in and see it and learn something. There's one product, Gary, isn't there, that really piques electricians' interest, a new innovation.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the AI of magnets. AI's been thrown around a lot recently, but this has got it absolutely jam-packed into it because it's an intelligent magnet. So if we look at this consumer unit here, we can already see we've deployed one of these AI magnets onto here, and we can see how when we lift the lid, it holds it nicely into place. Well, that's a small consumer. Does it work on large consumers? Yes, it does. So as I come down here, we've got another one down here. We can open up the lid. I'll place my AI magnet into position, and it holds it. And why do I know it's an AI magnet? Is because it can only tell it's attached to Lewden consumer units. So if I come to this enclosure here, which isn't a consumer unit, it's from Lewden, you watch this, it knows it's not a consumer unit and therefore will not stick to it. And it's not just that product. Okay, as we come from that switch down to this simple enclosure here, again, doesn't look very electrical. Will it understand that? Will the AI magnet be able to work? So watch this, it's beautiful. So go, aha. Now what you're really thinking is, will it work on that 3-phase distribution board and single-phase one combined together we saw at the start? Well, that might be a bit confusing for it. 3-phase distribution board and single-phase. Let's have a little look here. So it will know if it is a Lewden product and a consumer unit, because it will stick to it like magic. Talking of magic, it's time to catch up with Gordon inside of the studios.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to eFIXX TV. I must point out there, Gary, it has been rumoured that you have some artificial intelligence going on in your head there. Hopefully you didn't hoodwink people too much with the AI magnet.
Hey, fantastic bit of kit that is.
Yeah, and loads coming up tonight. We've got some fantastic guests. We're going to delve into the world of first fix electrics in new build homes, not an area we normally associate with quality. Do we? We don't need the, ooh, look at that first fix in that new build home. But tonight's electrician is taking it to another level, and we're going to learn out why he does that and how he manages to get away with such shockingly high quality work. I think we've got a little photograph, Joe. Let's tease one in just to see what's coming up.
Let's have a look what Carl's been up to.
Oh, wow, look at that. So we will find out if he suffers from OCD at the same time as well. But that's, yeah. And put in there, don't forget to bang your comments in to name the Lewden van. So we don't want Van McVan Face. I think that's been done for Boaty McBoat Face. But think of a name for the Lewden van. Someone's already said it's the snap-on van for electricians. So I thought that was quite good. Yeah. But great to see so many regular viewers on. Great to meet so many people this week down at Solar and Storage Live as well, wasn't it, Gary?
Yeah, really busy down there, wasn't it? You know, a thriving show, all those exciting new innovations in solar and battery, and you know, I felt at home there really. You know, it's in my element. I don't know how many times I had to get my phone out and show my app, and And on, what was it yesterday? Was it Tuesday? It was Tuesday. The sun was beating down and my battery was full and it was powering my house. It was a glorious day all round. Try and stay with us, Gordon. Now, talking about glorious day all round, I saw last time show that obviously Rick took on the two Joes when they were at... which show was that? We've been
EI Live.
No, it wasn't. Was it EI Live?
It was EI Live. We've been to that many shows.
I think it was
Screwfix Live.
Yes,
The one before. I'm getting mixed up on my
Give
shows.
you enough rope and you'll do whatever you got to do with it. So I've decided. The next show we went to, which was one for Oldfields, I took on Rick. So it'll be interesting to see how I got on when I took on the big fella. Okay, and we'll find out where Rick is later on in the show when we cut over to Joe. But again, before we start the show in full, we've got to thank you, the viewers, for joining us here on Facebook and on YouTube. And without you coming in every fortnight, we couldn't make this show happen. And if you want to be part of the show and get a shout out this week by Gordon, we've got a skeleton team, Gordon, haven't we?
We have, because Rick's away, actually, isn't he?
Yeah, he's away. So, yeah, I'm sure he is. And obviously, you want to shout out for that, you need to get into the comments. So the easiest way at the moment to comment is name the Lewden van. And when you name that van, hopefully you'll appear in the register. And for some of our real long-term followers, they'll get an opportunity, obviously, to be in the end credits. So make sure it's down to the very end to see if you made those. And without the support of some great people, and we've got some of them here tonight as well, we can bring the show to you either without the people that support this. And we have got our headline sponsors in the form of the Lesico Group, who offer us brands such as Lesico Lighting and Sync EV. Okay, and BG brands. We've also got, who else have we got?
We've got Lewden, Palazzoli, and Giovanni's in the green room. The boss is here tonight, so we have to be on the best behaviour. Let's have a look. There we go. Giovanni, give us a wave. With Karl there next to he didn't spot with Karl.
I would have waved then, Karl, when you got it, I'd have got it on the MD. Yes.
And of course, we also have the award-winning Doncaster Cables. They won an award for their PV Ultra cable last night down at Solar Storage Live, and congratulations for them.
Absolutely, and totally deserved. Aaron, who sort of designed that cable, I know he had some help from other people within the industry, but he pretty much drove that through. He's the brains behind PV Ultra, EV Ultra, and then what they've done with EV Ultra Plus being possibly my favourite one of his cables there. So I don't know who named that one, but he must have been an absolute genius. So that gentleman there is shaped our industry with at least 3 brand new products in cable. And who would have thought that a couple of 5 years ago, that you could innovate in the world of cables?
Innovation in cables. And hopefully we'll be talking about some of that. We have got a world first tonight coming up tonight, and consumer unit world first, yes, and some other latest innovations that are coming on from Lewden as well. So
and we've got some brand new segments as well. So Joe 3PO's got his own segment, so it's definitely, there's no reason to jump off at all here tonight. I don't think there's any decent football on tonight, is there? It's just this show, loads of new segments and some fantastic guests, isn't there?
And I've got to get in with it. There's a great name dropped in already from secret millionaire Craig Gifford. Yeah. Lewden Van Dross.
Oh, I love it.
That was a good start for the van names there. So keep firing them in.
That set the bar high,
That set the bar high, that one there.
Oh,
so
yes.
that's it. So
and we've got Palazzoli to work with as well. Okay, so that would be another one that would help you along the way. So because we had such a long intro, I think we should bring our wonderful guests in and just let's get the show off. We're going to bring them in. Who we got in there?
Good. Gary's telling there. Giovanni Baccini and Karl Mather. In you come.
Yes, up and mobile. Oh, look at that. And he's still the gentleman, the Italian gentleman. Let's Karl in first. You all right, Karl?
Yeah, great, thanks.
Nice to see you, Giovanni. I wasn't here last time you were here, Giovanni. I feel like this could be
a year ago, probably.
A bit of a dust down here, see if we can get a bit of competitive spirits in, as we go there. Yes, congratulations on finding a way here. We've been planning this for a long time, haven't we, Karl?
Yeah, we have, yeah.
So,
finally came around.
Yeah, you did. And we've dragged you up here because you're an award-winning electrician, which we're going to get to in a minute, but we don't know anything about you. Do you want to give us a 60 seconds rundown on who you are, Karl?
Yeah, I'm Karl. I'm the owner of KDM Electrical Limited from Wigan, along with my wife, Katie. We have a 2-year-old daughter as well, who I think is going to be an electrician herself because she loves light fittings. We do predominantly new build at the minute. We do some testing work for a few estate agents, and hopefully we're getting into some commercial work soon as well.
Okay, yeah, so that's nice, and we'll dive into all of that as well. You're back, Giovanni, but I didn't hear your 60 seconds ramble last time you were in, so I think we should give you a 60... That? No, I didn't hear. Tell me, if you can do 60 seconds, tell me all about yourself in 60 seconds.
Giovanni Baccini, Lewden MD, General Manager of Palazzoli Middle East, passionate about low voltage applications and products and anything which is leadership and management. What I like to do in my spare time is really to keep up with new technology, new things, We came up with the AI magnet with, thanks to you, and motorcycling.
Oh,
That's me.
Oh, didn't know the motorcycling. Well, perhaps come back to that as well. I'd like to know a little bit more about motorcycling. Yeah, I dropped the AI one in there because you helped us out last week down at Sparkling Live where you did your own presentation, where you're currently diving a little bit into the AI world, a bit ahead of most people in the industry. So hence that's where I tried to give you the nod with the obviously the AI magnet. So that's where we're up to. Now, where we're up to is that you obviously came in and almost walked straight onto the race wall and off you went. You didn't have much of an introduction today because we've been horrifically busy today, haven't we, Gordon?
We have. We've got a lot going on, loads of things you're going to see tonight. But yeah, I mean, we have to find out if Karl is actually any good. I mean, we see pictures of fantastic work. We don't see you in those pictures, Karl. So that it could be somebody else's work you've said.
AI generated.
It could be AI generated, exactly. There's all sorts going on. So we have to find out if you're any good on the tools. Which
Well,
means...
bear in mind, to do that quality, you have to be slow.
Oh, okay.
That's an early excuse.
Okay, time for the audience to play along. Let's bring in the roll there. So you've got 60 seconds. There's only one contestant tonight. Giovanni's already done it.
With that in mind, we've got a fixed time there. So let's do a race, but let's do a race with fixed time. We obviously know we're only going to go for Karl's time, so don't worry about that. But for leaderboard, for bragging rights on tonight's show, oh, I forgot you were quite high up as well, weren't you? You were the fastest MD on the board in an Italian pair of leather shoes. You're 3:43, Giovanni. Well done. I wish I'd seen that live. You went down the conduit, not up the conduit?
I can't remember what I've done. I think it was top to bottom. I think.
Yeah, it did a different way. It was good.
Yeah, so you didn't go.
So sounds like AI to me. Though.
Yeah, okay. so I think we've still got a little bit of competitive element. So obviously we've set the bar quite high. But if you'd have turned up on the same day, that was the time we would have done Karl. So make sure you get times. It's only Karl's time we're after.
Get your times in. Karl's now loads of times coming in. Have we hoodwinked you, Karl? Karl's already said he might be neat, but he's incredibly slow. Will that come through in the board? People are going midfield here. I can see that here. Or will he be faster than Giovanni? Will he be up at the top there? That's the one.
I think anything. Well, I think if you're sub 4 minutes, it's probably outrageous, isn't it, Gordon?
Outrageous if you're more than 4 minutes. I mean, obviously there is.
There's a Karl over here.
Let's see.
So we will see that. So let's. I don't know how we got on. So let's roll the VT and let's see how we go. We're going to live commentate on your Karl. So you're up for an absolute pasting now. Here we go then. So. Well, are we going to go up? Are we going to go down? Is the first question. So obviously starting down at the bottom of the socket outlet. Here we go. So you brought your own tape? Let's see. Ooh. And now I thought, looking at your pictures, you were using duct tape because it was silver, but you've actually got grey tape to go with your grey cable. That's your level of detail. Now, the level of detail jumps into mine now because obviously I'm expecting the line one on the left side, the green and yellow in the centre, and the blue on the right-hand side in the conduit now, so no crossing over whatsoever. We've had a refusal straight away, yeah? Okay, so it's not a bit of twin and earth, is it? Oh, we're up. Second attempt, not too bad. So we're round the Seco bend and into the we're into the consumer unit? Yes, we're into the Lewden consumer unit, concentration cam, we ought to call this one, because every time we look at it, it looks like there's another wrinkle on the forehead, and that forehead is probably the longest forehead I've ever seen. It starts at your eyebrows and ends at the back of your neck, so that is the longest forehead I've ever seen. But this is pretty quick, this is rapid.
I didn't have time to wash me hair.
No, it would have took forever.
Well, you're trying to tide it up.
He's got a whiff of he's not going to let those cables hang out the front. Look at that concentration cam. Okay, so we're in. So you're going front to back, which is a little bit different because obviously you get in the way now when you go for the neutral, so it's a little bit of a different technique. Here we go. No, didn't get in your way. Okay, there we go. So
using the screwdriver as a screwdriver. Yeah. That's good.
Not put anything in your mouth yet. That's always good. Oh, hang on. What's going on here?
Cage.
Oh, it's those tricky cage clamps, isn't it? When you don't have them open.
What it is, I forgot my left-handed screwdrivers this morning.
Okay. So yeah, no worries. And now you pulled it back. You tied it up. Yeah, you did. It was faffing around doing a bit of tidying up. Separately, then you're not going to extend the CPC and fold in the other one. Is there a problem with your cutters? Because you seem to pull like mad to get them off. Are they blunt or are they new?
No, they're quite new actually. Yeah. I fitted myself.
But wow, you're quite vicious on the end of the cables to get the insulation out the way. But it looks quite rapid. Okay, it looks quite rapid. Remember, you had 3 attempts. We don't know which attempt of the 3 we're seeing. It may not be your fastest looking one, but you'll get your fastest time. Now, did you split your CPCs across the two? You did.
Of course I did.
course I did.
Wow. Okay, so rather than 3 screws, you've gone for 4. Is that something you do in the residential world? Do you still split the CPCs on ring final circuits?
I think it's just something I do through force of habit.
Okay.
Let's try to resist trying to do an ultimate tidy job here. This is control here, Gary.
Yeah. And ring final circuits or radials, what we're talking about? Because this is obviously a radial socket circuit. What are you, a ring or a radial man?
Personally, I prefer radials, but obviously with the new build, it's mostly ring circuits.
Okay, all right, no worries. Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll dive into that. This is a reasonable time. Folding them in. I thought I was expecting your screwdriver to come up the back and you fold them and bend them back in. I was expecting a beautiful inside of the socket. You're obviously playing along now. Are we going horizontal or are we going vertical for your screws?
I don't actually remember, to be honest with you.
Oh, right. So
What would you normally do?
I do like it 12 and 6, to be fair.
All right.
Yeah, you can ask any of my lads that. I think it winds them up a little bit.
Are you a screw cap man? Do you have to put the caps on in these new residentials?
We have to do it, yeah, they make us do it now. So,
What
yeah.
happens if you miss one?
It's I get a lot of emails.
Oh,
Emails with lovely pictures to back them up.
you missed the end there, Gary.
Oh, no, sorry, finish. No, did see it finish out of the corner of my eye. So you eventually got there. Yeah, so of the 3 runs you went for, which one do you think was your quickest run?
Probably my last one, I think.
Okay, you're not right, but yeah.
Well, didn't you distracted me, I think, on my last one, didn't you?
No.
Yeah, didn't you speak to me?
No.
Oh, he's a pain for that, Carl. It really is.
see that-
I'm surprised he didn't start talking about his air fryer. That's
We're talking about the air fryer. Right.
Oh, right. So we have to have a look
Hand
how
cam
it
in and let's see what
Any,
G-Dog's up to.
any names you recognise on there, Carl? Is any?
Yeah, the Mark Allison, yeah.
Oh, right.
where's
Oh,
Mark
speaking
Warren?
of Mark Allison.
Where is he? Where is he? Where's Mark? He's somewhere here.
He's here.
Just above Neil Bridgman there.
Oh,
so,
well, that's
sorry,
outrageous. It's the wrong way around.
Oh, okay, just move. Okay, sorry, Mark. I did try. Okay, so Mark's helped us out today, and he asked to find 2 seconds for him, but I found a rearrangement.
Well, 1 second up, 1 second back down. Right, Carl, you did this in. Ooh, actually, it's quite interesting. Let's have a look. Where's Giovanni?
You're looking up. I don't believe you.
I am looking up. Sometimes say actually people have, hold on, I'm going to have to shuffle a few around here.
Okay.
So last week's contestant, Darren Krantz, is going down a 1 place because you did this in 3 minutes 50, which
good
is
time.
good, solid electrician territory.
And just above him is a good solid MD territory, is it? Just a little bit above you there, Carl. Okay. Maybe you're managing director of KDM, so you're now not the fastest MD either.
No.
Okay.
Neil Dutton, he's from your neck of the woods as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So watch for that. But yeah, okay. So Giovanni's still the fastest Italian on the leaderboard.
I didn't I?
Yeah.
It had to be polite. So that's what we
Like it.
expect.
So decent time. So hopefully those times will come in. Again, by putting the times in, hopefully you'll be getting picked up on the register. G-Dog's doing the register this week, so hopefully your name's get. So keep commenting is what I would say on that, and then you'll find yourself on the actual register itself.
Any of your team tuning in tonight, you think? Is there any names I need to watch for?
I definitely know my wife will be watching it.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, that's
She's left a comment. That's the thing, isn't it? Will she be on Facebook or will she be on YouTube? Because remember, we're across both platforms.
More than likely on Facebook, I should imagine.
Okay, yeah, we get quite a strong
there's a
following.
lot of people on Facebook as well, actually.
Yeah.
So at the minute, we've got 100 people on Facebook and 185 on YouTube.
Okay, well, let's keep it entertaining then. Let's
Yes.
keep it bubbling along then. So, okay. All right, brilliant. So we've got some presentations now. We're going to do this first time ever on camera. Just behind us here, I'm going to step out with hand cam because this, we do this off camera. So we've decided now that we ought to do it on camera. So when you sign for a new club, don't you? You may be playing rugby or ice hockey or football. You turn up, the big signing happens, and then you're presented with the T-shirt, aren't you? The shirt of the club you've just joined. Well, we've got our own shirt. We've been doing this for years, haven't we?
Yes.
Gordon, so
You're,
bring us in.
everyone who comes on, everyone who does the challenge roll gets one of these.
Okay, I've got to take
As
one.
seen
Yeah.
on eFIXX TV T-shirt.
Okay, that looks lovely, doesn't it? That's
There
a
you go.
limited edition.
So that's for you, Carl.
Thank you
can
very
wear
much.
that with pride. You've got one as well, you didn't get one last
No,
time.
I didn't.
Well, this is a second time. You don't get a special one for second time. You get the same one on there.
Oh, thank you.
Well, that's good. You can wear that around. Obviously, I don't think we even gave your colleagues one, actually. Oh, John down there and Ian Peacock. Oh, well, he's sub 4 minutes. That's outrageous territory, so you don't get one.
Yes.
So,
Right, so that's what we've done. We've done that for a couple of years now, haven't we? So,
yes.
But again, I would like to say that obviously Doncaster Cables, Aaron's asked for his T-shirt, so he'd like one now as well. He had a whiff that they were floating around. That's not the only thing we're going to give away, though, is it?
no, it's not.
No, because we've got some great people amongst us. Okay, great sponsors of the award for residential installer of the year, and that category, I was on the actual judging panel for that. I didn't chair that one. that was hotly contested. I must admit, you know, we bounced that one around for a long while. So to win that award with the judging panel we had is an absolute honour. So some of the awards were absolutely nailed on. You could tell almost instantly who was going to win it. But your category was really tough, which is great because the residential sector is a sector that's actually, we call it factory bashing now, don't we, rather than house bashing.
Yeah, all the action's in residential now.
It is, so well done for winning that. I'm just going to step out with the camera so I can see this, and then hopefully Giovanni will do the fine honours for us. Is that all right? So I'll just step through.
Where you going, Gary? There you go.
So I'm going to come to here so we can stand up and do our presentations to suit. Do you want to compare it, Gordon?
Oh, I'll go. So, yes, we're going to give the residential installer the F, sponsored by Lewden Palazzoli, to
Karl.
KDM Electrical. A much-deserved prize there.
Wow, that's a nice looking trophy. I'll come in to have a look at that one there. That is fantastic. Yeah, do you want to tell your face, please, Carl? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so Giovanni's smiling harder than you. So
Thanks very much.
Congratulations. Yeah, well done. Much deserved. I wish we could clap, but I'm holding the camera and Gordon's only one person, so it sounds like he's clapping. Brilliant. Thank you. Okay, so well done. Heavy, aren't they?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay.
Really nice.
Yeah, and what's classic about that is I tried to keep this a secret. So we'd been communicating for a while, hadn't we? I was encouraging you to come on the show, and you were telling me how Olympically unexcited you were about coming on. So and I wouldn't tell you were getting a trophy, and then eventually you sort of asked me if there a certificate, is there a badge I can put on my website, and then you spoke to Jenny, didn't you? Yeah. And she broke the news to you instantly. There's a massive trophy waiting for you, so I was trying to keep that as a surprise, but that one fell on deaf ears. Right, so if we're in this residential sector and you've set yourself apart from others, there must be reasons. We teased it out at the start, didn't we, Gordon? We saw that wonderful photograph. We've got any more pictures that can
We
show
have got a
this
lot of work.
story?
So, I mean, let's start with it. You've got also won the Pride in the Job Awards as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the NHBC Pride in the Job Award. It isn't just me, by the way. I have a good team of lads behind me, young lads, who are doing the exact same kind of thing. So, yeah, it's not just me.
Yeah. So what do you have to do to get the Pride in the Job Awards? Is it?
To be fair, the Pride in the Job Award is more site-based, so it's the entire site, not just us. It's based on the entire site. But they did actually mention the electrical installations as part of the comments when they came round, when the inspectors came round the sites. Like I said, it's just going that little bit above and beyond, isn't it, with your installation, taking a bit of care in it. That's what I've been trying to instill into the lads. You know, like if they do a good job, it'll give them a good reputation throughout their career.
Now let's just have a look at a few more pictures, Joe, because there's some just to get what we're on about here. Now this is.
So I take a deep breath here. So that cable has travelled some distance to get there, okay, and has been pulled through holes and clips and all the rest of it. But you have managed to get them now, so there is not a single twist in them as they come down. I take it the writing on all of them's on the left-hand side as well. I'm sure you've done that. Yeah, absolutely, obviously done that. And you've dressed those down, and that's never, ever going to be seen.
No.
But that's what they all look like.
It does at that stage, when it's inspected at that stage. And I think some of the builders actually take pictures now as well, you know, to give to the customers to show them the different build stages.
Right.
So I should imagine if you're buying a house, it would be nice to see a bit of extra effort in the installation work, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh no. I mean that is. Yeah. I've never seen work like that before. You hadn't even gone in there.
No, we've been.
Yeah. When it came through as a nominated piece of work, it was like we were like, you'll never guess. So you're like having a look and you think, wow.
Let's have a look at a few more.
Deep breath moment
there. So yeah, here's another one there.
So just talk me through what's above it there. So I'm trying to see what that circular thing is. Is that something
that's
else?
the room stat.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So obviously we've kept it right above.
So it's in zones and stuff like that. So you're okay.
Yeah. Well, also aesthetically pleasing as well by the time the switch is on. If you imagine at second fix, that's what I say to them, to the lads. They have to imagine what it's going to look like at second fix stage.
Of course, because so you put a whole piece of wood there as well, haven't you?
So we've got to fix into it.
Yeah, so you got to fix in. You can't screw into the cables, and it's directly in line with the switch underneath. So yeah, unlike my house, but yeah, it's the scattergun approach, isn't it? No, it's brilliant. Yeah, so thank you for explaining.
Keep them coming, John.
Come on
Let's
in,
have a
see what
look.
else we got.
All right.
Okay, start fitting pipes. Oh no, sorry, I didn't see the boxes underneath. They're hidden. What's hiding in the front of those boxes?
The sockets. Yeah.
That looks like a
plates,
splate to me.
Yeah.
It's splate, have I got the right word there, Gordon?
Splate.
Splate. So I'd imagine our good friend Richard Brooks on tonight. And do you use that for plasterboard to puncture it so they get it in exactly the right place?
Obviously it protects the cable, but because of the four corners, you get a nice tight fit around the plasterboard when they can press it onto it. They can see exactly where they're cutting, so you get a nice tight fit with the plasterboard.
Yeah, that's good. No, so again, great.
And how do the rest of the trades take that? Obviously, sometimes we plasterers have been known sometimes to complain at things.
Yeah, they don't really complain about them ones because it doesn't really get in the way. It's no different to the metal back box, is it? To be fair, it's just a protective cover.
Yeah. And what do they do with the rest? I mean, normally they like to fill those boxes up.
Exactly, yeah. So if we don't put anything on, before then we would put like duct tape over the front, you know, like we started doing that just to try and protect the cables a little bit, stop them filling them. It's not so much getting it on the cables, but when it sets, they can damage the lugs, you know, when you're trying to knock it back out.
Yeah.
So
Constantly thinking one step ahead. Yeah, makes life a little bit
the beauty
easier.
of them is obviously they're reusable as well.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, great. So well done, Richard Brooks, for that. So, and again, the pipe work doesn't matter which direction that goes in because the middle one looks like it's going far left, doesn't it? So they're not bothered where they go with their pipes. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, next one.
Yeah. Oh, there's no.
Is that the consumer unit end?
So this is a Stuart Milne site, and the consumer units we use. It's actually one of my lads did this. We basically measured, you know, the knockouts on the back of the consumer unit.
Wow.
Where they were coming through. So we had a diagram then of where we could drill them holes, and it was nowhere near the casing. So there was no damaged cables coming through the metal enclosures, you know, like, and then the cables above, we measured that because that's the solar isolator and meter.
Right.
So that's why one's slightly higher than the other. The one on the left is the meter with the cables underneath, and the other one is the top entry on the isolator.
I don't know why you won. Well, that's different level, that is. I mean, and the second fix is an absolute joy then. You got a wooden fixer when you get there.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just a joyous moment, isn't it? And you've got all the time and all the room to make it like that rather than just leave them and hope for the best when you get there. Really good. Next one, have we got any more?
The beauty of it is obviously stuff like that, it took time to do the first one, but then once everyone starts doing it and gets faster and faster, and it just becomes second nature to them.
That's good. So, of course, we're trying to get a super chat out of, obviously, Richard Brooks this evening. I imagine that's why that one's in again. So, twin socket splate, so we can move on for now. We've known that, so that's for the plasterboard.
You can also use them, Gary, to steady tables in restaurants.
I know, we've taken them with us as well.
Very handy.
The screws on that were 12 and 6 as well.
Oh, were they? Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye. Yeah. Again, so brilliant. And like I said, I thought that was duct tape, but that's actually, you showed me it's silver insulating tape or grey insulating tape. Yeah. Brilliant. And on we go again. Yeah. Okay.
So that's how we used to do it before we measured.
Okay. That's not really a consumer unit, though, is it? No one's being fooled by that in the residential, is it? You walk up to that, you clearly know that isn't a consumer unit. And obviously the heights are really important to you as well. And you said that the consumer units now have got to be lockable. Is that right?
Depending on the builder, the private, not so much unless they ask for it, but more the housing associations, it's more of a thing with them.
Okay, and the consumer units you're currently fitting on the job you're on?
Lewden.
Oh, that's
we're fitting
stroke of
Lewden
luck.
boards, yeah.
Stroke of luck. Right, on to the next photo. What have we got next?
Oh,
Wow, what is that? So some of them are going down the back. So you've only got one cable passing.
Yeah, so the cables ran down the back to keep them in the zone, and then obviously that's a fan isolator switch high level. So then the cable at the top and bottom is obviously the in and out of the fan isolator.
And at the very top, have you made some sort of notch and then put a plate over it, or have you drilled a hole and put a plate?
So we drill through the centre of the timber and then put a protective plate either side.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And your screws are at the right there. Yeah. Just look at it. Unbelievable. People must be sitting there thinking, wow, I've done some...
If only my house could look like that.
Yeah, I know mine is terrible. So, next one. Yeah, it's different gravy, isn't it? Absolutely different. What's happened at the top there? So it looks like someone's come along. Was that you filled those holes, or is that the builder?
No, the builder did that. They fill all the entries and for air testing purposes.
Oh, right, okay.
So they get the air test readings that they need.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Are we there? Have we got any more, Joseph? That's it. Okay, so that's good. So, yeah, I would imagine it was an easy choice in the end. I think they dive into all aspects of your business and the things I've seen before. So people think it's based on maybe their website or it's based on photographs or their submission. We've had people before that have lost an award based on the fact that they didn't, for 2 years, return their tax returns on time, and they lost an award based on that. The details that the judges go through, I thought it'd be a really nice experience. I've said it's been horrific at times, horrific. Well, I just like to I've got a photograph I'd like to bring in here on social media where they're doing something, and they'll bring stuff in. So you've won that award for an all-round great job, not just the fact that you can dress cables.
Oh, we're absolutely made up with it.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Team, so can we just mention your team? So, you know, obviously one person can't do that. We've seen you not very quick on the wall. So you must have a bigger team. So how many's in the KDM team?
I think it's 8 at the minute, full time, and then we have been using subcontractors because we're picking up more work all the time.
Right.
But full time, there's 8 of us. Yeah, I've got quite a few trainees, younger lads.
Okay.
And like I said, they're all pulling in work like that. You know, like it's really proud of them, to be fair.
You said you got 4 apprentices. Did I get that right?
Yes, I've got 4 apprentices. Yeah.
So
Well,
half the workforce.
Yeah, 3 of them are at college, and 1 of them is doing private training. Yeah, just changing career.
Wow.
Yeah.
So not only are you raising the standards of what residential wiring should look like, and hopefully people will see that and be inspired by it, but 50% of your workforce are being trained to work like that.
Yeah.
So even, let's say you let them go, so say you only offer a 4-year apprenticeship and you let them go and you didn't keep them, that's the standard of work they'll take somewhere else, and
100%.
hopefully
That's
they'll
why I'm doing it.
Hopefully
Yeah,
they'll repeat
100%.
through. So
Yeah.
no, brilliant, thank you. We need more people like you. Have you ever visited your local college?
Yeah, I have. Like I said, I do some work with a local training firm as well. He runs, the experienced worker courses.
Okay.
And sometimes he sends guys over to my site as well.
Okay.
Like to get a bit of experience and show them how we do it.
Well done. Yeah, absolutely well done. Yeah.
And how do you keep? Is there pressure from obviously new build homes? Always got to, people say, oh, there's price work, and you've got to crash it in as quickly as possible.
The thing is, when we first started, obviously when you first start doing it, I mean, I've been doing it years now. So when the lads first start doing it, it does take them a bit longer. So I usually just take that on the chin kind of thing, But eventually they do it as second nature. Same with the cables. Once you know that you're going to flatten them out, you automatically do it when you pull them through the timber. So if you pull them in straight, straighten them as you're pulling down, they automatically pull together straight. Right. So it doesn't take that much longer, to be honest.
And do you find, obviously, because you've put a lot of work in on the first fix, does it speed up the second fix?
The second fixes are a breeze,
Yeah.
Like I said, we've even started, I'm trying to instill that they write on all the cables, so even the switch wires, the feeds and everything. So even if somebody else follows them in, it's not the guy who wired the house, it's easy then for, if there's a 3-gang, 4-gang light switch, they know exactly which cable's which.
So don't need to know your nicking system. We used to have 1 nick, 2 nick, 3. The one we put 15 nicks on the bonding wire to the water and gas, so you knew exactly what cable that was. You didn't get confused with the other ones. That's why it's always our in joke. But by writing on it, yeah, you could be followed in by somebody else, couldn't you? So if I know exactly what that cable is.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the lads do the same thing day in, day out. So a lot of them, if they know they're going in, will put nicks on. But if somebody else comes in and they use different ones, it gets confusing. If it's written on, it's quite simple, quite straightforward.
Have you ever shared a site? Have you ever had a large site where maybe you're doing some of the dwellings and then somebody else is doing some of the other ones?
Not a different firm, no.
No, I was going to say that might be a bit conflicting.
No, not a different firm, no.
That's really good. So it's not the race to the bottom, I'd say it's the race to the top for you, isn't it, Carl, as we go through that one as well. So, Gordy?
Yeah, I mean, that's inspirational work.
It's almost unattainable. You'd have to rethink, wouldn't you? So if I went away from this and thought, I want to be the next KDM, you really got to put some effort into that. And it links nicely into companies that are raising standards with products that actually we're installing systems that will be the life of the products and the life of the systems as well. I know my system at home, I'm in a new build, it's horrific. Absolutely horrific. It was never tested. My test results are the same as next door neighbour's house. I've had part of the floor up. It's awful under there. There's no class involved in that wiring system. It's good.
Yeah, and we've done a lot of, we've been lift the floorboard and put it down as quickly as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's,
not a pleasant thing. You mentioned solar there. As you went through, obviously, if you're in the residential sector and you're offering that new build, it ain't going to be long before you close your eyes and you're not going to be able to avoid solar, are you? Is that something you're getting into?
Yeah, I am. It's only recently I've just actually signed up to the course so I can get my MCS accreditation because obviously they feed back into the grid. I know they're on about changing it, but at the minute you need to be MCS accredited, don't you?
Yeah.
So we already actually do a lot of the install ourselves. So we run in the cables, fit the isolators, and then another company will come in and fit the inverters. So the roofers actually fit the panels and everything.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So it just made sense, really, if it was an ongoing projects and ongoing sites, to get it myself, and then I can hopefully tender in for the work myself.
And it's what we've said, haven't we? If you haven't got a full turnkey solution, whatever it is, and we've talked about an EV one today off camera, haven't we? As always said, if you can't do all the aspects of it, there's a great chance that they'll say, well, we're not going to have you now, okay? Moving you on. So if you don't pick that solar
There's a lot of competition out there now, so yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, it's good. And you've got your own solar system, I hear.
Partly, yes. It's In production, let's say.
Oh, is it? Cobbler's kids have the worst shoes. You half a job, is it?
It's well, I'm always working, aren't I? So I'm that slow at working.
You're always behind the curve, yeah?
there you
Always
go,
behind the curve. Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It's unavoidable solar, definitely, and it's following the heat pumps. Anything on heat pumps?
I think we've got some coming up on we've got a new site starting next year, and that's got heat pumps as far as I know, and underfloor heating.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
It's coming.
yeah.
You're going to be forced to do it, or you're going to have to force it. And the amount of people we hear, well, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, and don't want to do the other, is run out of work. Yeah, absolutely. We've had it before with Ross, haven't we? Ross is picking up all your people in your street because, their electrician refuses to do all the new stuff.
Yeah, there's people, I'll see my time out. I said, well, if you're going to be an electrician in the next 10 years, I think you'll struggle to avoid it. It's kind of, good luck with that one.
Any good names coming in? We got any more?
There's some great comments. People would like to see you do that on a rewire. That's what people like to see. So perhaps we need to see KDM rewiring just to see how that goes up. But again, we've seen it before with people like Glasgow rewires and Home Rewire. They bring up standards on stuff.
Them,
yeah.
But they got a big pushback to start with because they were going in and say rewiring back then. I would say housing association style properties, weren't they? In one day, your 2 and 3 bedders, 4 bedders took a little bit longer, and people were saying, "Oh, they must be rough. They must be rough." They just had all the kit, and people knew exactly what they were doing. You went in and wired the lights, you went in and wired the ring, you were doing the board, you were doing this, and everybody knew their job, and actually just got it down to a fine art.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
exactly what you're doing.
That's exactly it.
Your fine art looks like that. You know, theirs looks like a rewire in a day. But he's flipped the business now, and he doesn't do housing association style properties now, does he?
Bigger houses,
Yeah.
because he's learned that time is obviously a commodity for some people. So someone doing big houses in Edinburgh, where you might have someone who's got suggest quite a well-paid job.
Yeah.
Obviously, someone in the house for a week versus someone in the house for 2 days, they don't want the hassle. So the people are willing to pay for a better job done faster or slower in Carl's case.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, slower than the.
But right, great. People, house builders send and thought this is what your new house build looks like. I think is a step forward. I think more people should ask for that when they're putting their money. Because obviously, you spend a lot of money on houses. Not cheap in this country
as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And these features, I don't think people do now, but I think we as an industry need to turn that around and start selling the value, isn't it? You can either have, if you sort of photographed or someone said you can have a house that looks like Gary's wiring, or you can have one that Carl's done. People go, I want that one, please.
100%. Yeah, without an issue.
It'd change people's perception of new builds, wouldn't it? Slowly.
Yeah, there's some...
Which we'd like to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it all takes time. We're very slow at change. We don't like change as an industry especially, but there's a massive one coming, isn't there? So we haven't got Rick here today, have we? Shall we go over and see if... let's have a word with Joe and see if Joe can give us an update on Rick. So he's going to fiddle around with his microphone. So, hello, Joe, how are you?
I'm good, Harry.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate.
Harry.
It's near enough. We've only been doing a couple of years together now. So, you're in the post room. Obviously, there'll be other people out there that haven't won prizes that haven't been delivered, but we won't mention the post this week because I'm sure you've been nowhere near a post box, so we won't mention the post.
But it's coming soon, hopefully.
Yeah, okay, dream on. Right, what's up with Rick?
Vic's not here. I'll just slide out from behind this big new mag that we've got. So, Vic's not here. He's currently, let's bring it up, he is doing a smoked Virginia baked ham course. So he's learning to cook that tonight. He was actually eating a ham and cheese sandwich from Morrison's this afternoon. So it's a big change going from that to that. So that's where Vic is today. Yeah.
You want to go up to him and say your food weren't quite right. You got a bit of a mean look on his face, hasn't he?
I think he's wanting to work the night shift at Toby Carvery, I think, just for the leftovers.
Bring back in, so he can help himself. Imagine that. Yeah, they do a thing where you can have leftover food, don't they? There's a special app that you can have. Not the Toby Carvery this gentleman works out. There'll be nothing left when he'll hoover it all up. Yeah, fantastic. I'd love to see him in catering. Imagine that. Yeah,
we'll stick around because Rick's coming up a little bit late. Actually, we can cut across to Rick now, actually, Gary.
It was tool time.
We've got Rick's tool time. We've been down at Solar and Storage. We found an interesting bit of kit to take.
Rick's tool time. Hello and welcome to Rick's Tool Time. This week we're going to take a look at the TIS 455. Now Mark's going to explain what it actually is.
Well, actually, it's a TIS 455 line splitter.
Oh, right, okay.
I often refer to it as a contraption because that's what it looks like. But yeah, the line splitter allows you to basically plug the unit into the wall, plug an appliance into that end, and then we split all the different denominations of the cable feeding an appliance so that firstly, If we wanted to, we could check what current the appliance is running at. We could also check what is disappearing down the earth.
Yep.
But most importantly, for earth leakage, we can clamp round where we split the live and the neutral. Importantly, that will give us the accurate earth leakage value. Whatever's going down the live should be coming back down the neutral. Anything that's not is pure earth leakage.
And what are these connectors for?
So they then allow you, Rick, at the same
Yep.
time, particularly if you're looking at the current to the appliance
I see,
itself, you can measure the voltage, you've got the voltage, you've got the current, you can check what sort of power the appliance is running at the same time.
Now then, Rick from the future here. Now Mark has explained the features of the line splitter. Let's see how it works in real life. Here's our old microwave, which we pensioned off when the Makita battery powered one arrived. Gary has a habit of leaving cups of tea to go cold all over the unit, so let's bring them, or at least one of them, back to life with some of these microwaves. While that's warming up, we can check the current draw of the appliance by clamping our current clamp around this area marked X1. We can also connect our meter between V and N terminals to measure the line voltage, and now with the miracle of maths we can work out the power. So power is equal to voltage times current. So the microwave is using 1580 watts, so that's just shy of 1600 watts. Of course I haven't factored in the power factor in my simple calculation. The rating is, however, similar to what is on the rating plate on the side. Perhaps we've identified this appliance as a rogue operator which is tripping one of our pesky RCBOs. We have two options to measure the leakage current: directly on the protective conductor. However, this is not a true value as the appliance has a metal frame and is sitting on a metal cabinet, which could give an alternative path to earth. We've got to remember that Gary is stuck in the 17th edition of the regs and used to scattering earth clamps around with gay abandon. So as an alternative, you could measure the differential between the line and neutral conductors by clamping on here, which also gives us the true leakage current. You can then compare the two readings to help in your fault finding. If we look at this Apple laptop power supply, we can measure 0.4 milliamps of leakage current. That Stephen Jobs has a lot to answer for. Well, that's me done here. So back to the solar and storage show with me and Mark.
Brilliant, cheers, Mark. So that's the TIS 455. Let me know what you think. Is it great or is it a gimmick? Get your votes in, but till then, I'll see you on the flip side. Ta-da.
Oh, there we go. That was good. That was. I think that's a good bit of kit. I spotted it when we were at the Oldfield trade show, so it's good that Rick picked it up on his travels around solar stores. But what do the audience think? Put in if you think it's good or a gimmick.
Okay, yeah.
Before we summon it down from above.
Oh well, so unfortunately, Giovanni, you know, you're not sitting next to me. Obviously, this is the beautiful side of the room, isn't it? Obviously, where me and Karl are. And obviously we've got the less easy on the eye section over there. It's above your head, and obviously, you know, we're going to need to summon it down, Giovanni. So hopefully, this will be spliced out of the video and played around the Braintree warehouse, I would suggest, on a regular basis, because you're going to lose all your dignity with me. So while people are getting their comments in, I think we need to get into place. So we're going to need to be on our knees, young man. So they are nice trousers. Okay, they're nice shoes. What are they? Some sort of. Oh wow! Look at those.
Yes, thank you. Can you clean as well the other one, please? Oh, thank you.
Bad boys. Down on your knees, young man. Okay, so
on my knees.
On your knees.
Can I just do one?
No. Well, we're not getting married. I say yes. Okay.
No,
So we're going to have to use the cool, okay, to get the tool from above down.
Yes.
So we need to the words tool. Now you can say it in some sort of broken Italian accent if you think you can pull one off.
Oh,
okay,
my normal accent anyway.
That's a good accent. That's the one I'm after. Okay, so
Okay.
we're gonna go tool. You're almost there. Yeah.
I'm learning. Yeah, you see.
Here we go. So remember, this is going to be a segment at work. Every time you walk into that workshop, you're going to hear this call. Okay, so it's the call you're going to do, and we're ready now. So this is our first attempt. Are you ready? Hands up. Tool. Oh, look at that. So,
It's working.
we went first time ever.
Probably I have to try with two hands now.
Well, I like the hand on the shoulder.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay. No, keep it there.
Yeah, it's very nice. Okay, ready? Tool.
No.
Duff noting now. I think that was me as well.
Change the
wasn't it?
switch.
Okay, here we go. Well, tool. You smell gorgeous and look gorgeous. Right.
Thank you.
So here we go. So that's yours, and this is the bit of kit. So you have a look at that while we just send it back up. It's really noisy at this stage as it goes back up. So I was going to send it back up. So, okay. We're gonna see what we've got here. We've got the.
It's a winner from the audience.
Oh, is it? Is it already?
Which is rare. People actually like it.
We got the. So let's not get confused. It's not the tool wall. It is the tool. It's not the cool wall. So this is our tool wall, and we do it every week now, don't we? I've got a really bad back as well. My back has been horrific this week. So this is what we class as an absolute gimmick. Okay, so this is the Makita coffee maker. In 15 minutes, it won't make 2 cups of coffee on the battery within it. So if you had a fellow co-worker and 15-minute coffee break, only one of you gets a beverage. So I will stick that down here in Gimmick. And then as we work it through, Giovanni, so we could probably start in here on the left-hand side. We sort of come 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you get it up in the top corner, very close to where the spit pulsar is, that's about an 11. Okay, so we go to 11 at eFIXX. Okay, so you've got to decide now. We'll go with your final decision. Where would you like to place it?
I think I will place it somewhere.
Ooh, there you go.
I reckon it's a 9, isn't it?
Yeah. And I get rid of that.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. We'll leave it. So we're up on the board there. So TIS bag of 9. Okay, fantastic. All right, okay, good. So everyone like that one?
Yeah.
Can I keep it?
Yeah, you can have a play with it if you want. Yeah.
See that handy back at base, that.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially with your.
I lose my dignity for something.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be played very regularly as well. So lost the Viper. See, there's the Viper clip. So again, I think if I was, I've got Julie's number. If you want me to put you in contact with Julie, I think you'd make a good field test for that bit of kit.
Yeah.
The Viper clip.
Yeah, we'll give it a go.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, remind me at the end. I'll give you Julie's number, and we'll see where that is. So who better to try out a tool that makes the cables look like they've been clipped by hand than you, I would suggest.
Yeah. People are suggesting, Gary, you've ripped off Top Gear with that wall.
Yeah, I know. It's always said, but popped a little bit when it.
Not just one program, there's a dual program rip-off going on here. So.
I used to watch something with the Dove from above, and I used to watch a thing where they did laps on a racetrack. They got 3 attempts, believe it or not.
Yeah.
We used to have Gary's Swap Shop, and that sounded familiar as well.
Yeah.
You've got the GT time, and I think that logo looks familiar as well. I think we might have a little bit of ripping off all around it.
Wait until we do Bullseye.
Yeah, we're going to do that one. Can't wait for that one. Yeah,
it's coming up.
Yeah,
And Family Fortunes.
Yeah, well, what was when we had Mr. and Mrs?
Yes.
We have the generation game. She's not with us today, so we're short of staff today. Rick's at college.
Rick's at catering college.
Catering college, yeah, okay, doing a bit there. So he's there looking mean and moody. Okay, he's obviously just had a problem with a souffle. Okay, so he's there. Jenny's on holiday.
Jenny's on holiday.
Joe
Robinson's on holiday.
Yes.
He's gone caravanning again.
Yes.
Rotherham, I think he's taking the caravan to this time.
It is
caravanner, Carl? You caravan?
No, not really. No.
Giovanni, you've never been tempted to drag your own home with you and head off onto the roads and block up roads for people? No, it's not an Italian thing.
It's probably for someone, but I prefer the comfort of hotels, honestly.
We do as well, but Joe likes to drag mobile accommodation with him, and sometimes when he's with the in-laws, he even gets to sleep outside.
Some of them are really good.
Yeah, and he has to build the shelter with like bits of pole and tarpaulin and stuff like that in order to get his accommodation built. And I don't think he's actually in the centre of Rotherham. I don't think there's many picturesque places. I think he's close to Rotherham. I think it's only a small bus journey into the town centre, which he was there today. So he did send me a photo, and I won't be showing it because he asked me not to show his picture of him in Rotherham.
Right,
but he did send me one today. Yeah, they look like they're having a miserable time. Okay, so it's all good stuff. So great bit of kit. So TIS again, thank you very much for that. And Rick's tool time as always was fantastic. But Rick will be back later on when I take him on in a challenge. That'll be interesting as well. Now we've talked about an innovation within wiring a dwelling, okay? But you're not wiring anything, Giovanni. You're at the product stage.
Yeah, we are.
But I challenge you. Have you got anything you can show me that might make me go wow?
Oh, I don't know. It's very hard. You're setting the bar here. There are 2 things I can show you tonight.
Oh, here we go. This is a world first here. This is a world first. That looks like a consumer unit.
Yeah. Okay. Comes out of a consumer unit style box there. Okay. So we've got that one there.
There we go.
You haven't sprayed it white yet. Oh dear.
It's a black consumer unit.
Consumer unit.
Like it. Can you just lift the lid for us? Can you just have a little look so we can have a look in there? Oh, look at that. Right. Okay, let's have the thinking behind that one then, Giovanni. Before we do box number 2, so what's the thinking behind a black consumer unit? And was that driven by the team?
Karl's colours.
No, it was.
Let's have another look at that.
This, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
For
driven.
those who can't work it out, the consumer unit, show me. Oh, it's this side. Yeah, it's this side. Okay, this is you. Okay, yeah. Played in a tree, didn't you?
You have the same hairstyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Gloss finish.
What was the driver to this?
Yes.
Was basically we did a few projects where the specifications was for black consumer unit
Right. In a dwelling.
in a dwelling and in a couple of hotels as well. And then we post a few things on our social media channel, and electricians were start commenting and saying, "Oh, it would be good if you can have a black option as well."
Yep.
So we said, okay, why not? So we decided to go for the 2 most popular sizes we do, and we do it as well now in matte black, basically. So that's how it works.
So if I saw that and thought to myself, I've got a project that looks like it's perfect for, okay, as we go through,
Yep.
when will I sort of be able to get my hands on them? When are they going to be out there for me to...
Stock is coming first week of November.
Okay, so...
So it's imminent. Yes, it's
Okay.
very imminent.
And do we expect this to be on the shelves in the wholesale, or will it be a special purchase?
We are always trying to get these as much as possible available for people through the shelves, but it will be basically supplied, I think, most of the time back to back from Lewden.
Yep.
We do have the stock in Braintree. We have 2 deliveries a day to wholesalers, so it can turn up the next day without any problems.
Okay. Yeah, nice touch.
Of course, someone's in there. About time someone bought out a black consumer unit.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Something different.
Yeah,
anyway.
absolutely. Yeah,
But it's on trend black, actually. If you look now, people in bathroom, if you watch Grand Designs, which I'm a big fan of Grand Designs,
I like the other one.
with George Clark.
I like the George Clark one. I'm a big fan of George Clark. I'd love to meet him one day. I'd love him to sit there, actually.
Yeah.
And I'd love to spend a lot of time with George Clark.
How
You're obviously, yeah, you've already been there.
No, you look at a lot of trend, window frames, black.
Black is
And then, shower, bathroom accessories, everyone's going black. There's even a lot of, people sell a lot of black sockets.
Oh, yes, you can
Yeah,
see a lot
so
of
it's
black wiring accessories. Yes, that's true.
It's just part of that.
Yeah,
Years ago, people just used
And-
to paint them.
that's the option.
Badly, normally.
Yeah, there's always this option
One
available.
with gloss.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's good. And it's like I said straight away in there as a comment, it gives you options, doesn't it? Again,
It is to give options as well. I mean, it's also to answer some requests we received from the market. It's always good to listen to what people says, especially now with social medias. These type of interactions are becoming more regular, and you can start picking up some trends. And not always trends are things that you can sell in volumes, but are also things that can solve issues
yeah.
to the installers and people who are looking for something which is fitting for purpose. And in this case, it's a simple color, but it can make the difference. Why not?
But it might get you a job you weren't going to get before. So if you go in there and say, "Oh, see, I do offer a black consumer unit as well," and the other electrician quoting for the work doesn't, it might be this. "Oh, I've gone with them. They did a black one. You didn't even offer it up." And the electrician said, "I didn't know you could get a black one. You already won the job, didn't you?" So yeah, knowledge is power as always. I would suggest on that one. So great. So you've got a knowledge. We're going to come back to consumer units because I think we've got another one to have a look at a little bit later on. But we did say there was 2 things you've got.
There was
So
2 things.
I would
Yes.
like to have a look at what else you've got.
The second
Finding
one.
out, guys, electricians of a certain age can remember when consumer units used to be dark brown.
Oh, can they? Oh, you do, do you?
Yes, they did, yeah.
It means absolutely nothing.
Before
to
they
me.
could make coloured bakelite.
Dark brown.
No.
Oh, probably in Bakelite, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Not me. Yeah, you?
No, well too young.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so Gordon.
Gary actually in his garage has got a wooden consumer unit. He goes back that far actually. He's not doing himself a disservice there.
I'd love a wooden consumer unit in my garage because I've got no electricity in. It's 15 metres.
I mean, on the shelf, Gary.
Yeah, on the shelf.
You've trotted that one out a few times. His wooden mahogany consumer unit there. He's remembering it now.
Yeah,
Memory's gone.
I'm on the second version now because they chucked at college. I went away and they tidied up the stores and threw it away because they thought it looked old, and I managed to get a replacement one. But yeah, I've got a wooden consumer unit, and I think it's got that sort of. I think the varnish on it would actually help the fire as well. So it was like a fire starter, the varnish on it. So classic bit of kit. Right, we said second box then. So if they bring
Second
it
box.
hang
Yeah,
I'll have a little
okay.
look what's in
So from
box.
monotone black
yeah.
to basically...
Ooh.
Oh,
Don't drop them. I remember when I used to drop them, they used to smash. Will these smash if I drop them?
no, they will not.
Okay.
But they're
wow.
not meant to be dropped anyway.
Okay, so let's have a look before I get my lighting wrong. Okay, There's a little Allen key on
Oh, there we go.
Oh, we
Just
proved the point.
First test
I
done.
love it. If that one's broke, we're in a world of trouble here. We've got to sweep it away.
We're in luck.
Okay.
That's good. What type of plastic is this, Giovanni? Is it?
That's polyamide. We reinforced. It has to be 690 degrees. That's
Oh,
fine.
you did it. Oh, well done. That's good. Yeah, so what I used to find on these, I dropped a whole box of them once, okay, and I think I found 3 that wasn't smashed. So I got
Oh, that
all
was
the
the backlight
yeah, I got,
type,
I got all the innards, which was
Yeah.
useless,
Yeah.
okay, and then and obviously colour coordinated to suit obviously our phase colours and
Single phase,
yeah,
3
yeah,
phase,
absolutely
and
brilliant.
ground, of course.
ground. We're not in America,
Oh, sorry, apologies.
and they slide together really nicely as well, don't they? So let's look at that. Yeah. Look at that, because I used to think we used to have to, one had to fit underneath the other one, so you're constantly loosening that off to slide another one in,
Yeah,
and loosen
that's
that
true.
off. So at
That's
least,
true, yeah.
at least with this method,
This today doesn't work in a different
one screw in the
way.
middle and they've held them all, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I like it, Giovanni. I like it. Innovation there. One screw in the middle holds the rest. Well done. And when can I get hold of these?
Same week.
Oh, so
Yeah, they're coming
well.
together basically.
okay.
Oh,
Was
fiddle
that
with
driven
these
again
here.
from social media, or did you think that needed a little bit of innovation due to the fact, yeah, back in my days, I used to smash them all on the floor.
What do you mean? Sorry.
So what drove that one? You said this one was listening to our customers.
What drove these? Oh, yes. We do produce all the isolator switches
Yep.
for the meter cabinets, so fused and fused. And one of the requests which was coming through us was how to split the lines from there to a subboard or to an EV charging, and how this can be done through the box, okay, which it becomes quite tricky for the type of size of cables you're handling sometimes.
Yeah.
So that was driven basically to try to derivate easily outside of this main switch, and then go to your solar PV lines, to your subboards, to your main consumer unit, and so on.
Yeah. But from what you just suggested to me there, it sounds like loads more circuits going into dwellings. Okay, your boards, look as if you've got a lot of cables running around all the rest of it. And that sort of brings me up to, is the consumer unit got to get a little bit bigger? So there'll be times when they've got a little smaller one. Maybe we've got to start putting one on top of the other, Gordon. Do you agree with that?
We do, yeah.
Yeah, so have you got any footage to show a tame electrician doing that?
I like these little inserts. No?
Okay, do you want me to have a look at the hand
Yeah,
cam? So
I
just
think
bring hand
I think
cam
the little detail on the back, how they
1 second.
tessellate together. There's a word from school.
Okay, that I
Yeah.
don't understand.
And I just like these little, they're good, the way they come out. Because normally, they just rely on the backlight being a bit thinner there, isn't it? And then when you knock them out, that's when you crack them.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
And do your best to hold it back together so you don't know to go and buy another one. So,
Sorry about that camera colour just changed. Oh! Let's hope it's not broken.
And it's still intact.
they're still intact. We're really testing it here tonight.
Can you imagine? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, but it proves the point, though. So, again, if
Yeah.
anyone said to me, if you drop it, it wouldn't smash, the first thing I do is let go of that in my hand anyhow.
Yeah.
So, if it doesn't survive that test, you're going to buy it. Great, yeah, love it. A little bit of that. But consuming, it's, don't get me wrong, you've got small flat and all the rest of it. But when we're looking at properties that are, extending the wiring systems now, maybe another solution's required.
Extending wiring systems, but also certain type of loads that will require as well a particular type of attentions in spacing the MCBs or the RCBOs.
Hold that thought. Let's look at the consumer unit and we'll come back to that.
Yeah, we've got one, a little change going on. So here's an older one. You might remember this brand MK. So this is when you used to have to build everything up from component parts for a dual stack one. So here's a project we've recently replaced with Ross. So there's lots of things wrong. Type AC RCDs and with an EV charging extra. So there's the first reason.
Oh, we've got to go again. We've got to
go
go.
again.
Oh, clumsy fingers. That looks like one of those MK ones you used to have to build, Gordon. Yeah, just,
It's got an AC.
no, it's got an AC RCD. And look, there's an EV charger. Do you want to carry on, though?
Yeah, and then obviously everybody stacks them, as everybody's done since the dawn of time, in decreasing size order. So you've got 32s, down to 20s, 20s. Someone sneaked a 3 in there.
No.
See them very often, and then down to
That
a
must
6.
have lost a 2 off the end, didn't
Yeah.
it? 3 amp.
6 at the end. You can still get them an E-type. Rumour has it as well. So brought Ross in. He's looking for a bit of cardboard there.
Oh, right, found it.
Refiguring the job out here. So what we're trying to avoid doing is stacking them in size order, trying to rearrange the highly loaded circuits across the top and the bottom row. So here's the rat's nest to come out. You would be having fits here, Carl, wouldn't you? You saw that. You'd be going, oh dear.
What's the wiring in the wall look like if the board looks like that? Yeah. Okay.
So that's coming out. And yep, so there we go.
Ross is the second fastest person on the race wall, so this is normal speed for
Yeah,
him.
this
So
is
let's
normal
slow it up
speed
a bit,
when
yeah,
it's done.
to get it out. There's a lot of cables there, isn't there? He's labelled them all. I can see, you can just see the silver
And
tags.
then we'll have a go, bring in the new dual stack board from Lewden.
Yep.
And obviously you build it in the factory and then we take it to bits again on site. So, but at least we know everything fits.
Okay, so yeah, that's
And then Ross decided to do a bit of on-site innovation coming up here. He decided to make his own cutouts in a place you hadn't put them, but he thought, then yeah.
And that's feedback you've taken on board today as well, which is excellent, showing that he's actually put them slots behind the DIN rail. Is that right? So you can bring the cables up behind them.
Yeah.
Gives him that look
He's
at that.
trying to give it that
more room.
Instagram-friendly look.
Yeah, he is.
When it's finished.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so we've suggested then that those aren't going to be in that traditional order. Main switch, largest to smallest, that Ross has had a little bit of play around with that. And Giovanni's going to come back in and just give us a little bit of thinking behind that. Because this is, for some people, and I've done it with a few electricians at focus groups, they're not even considering it. They're still old school. They don't believe the bus bar can get all the current to the end of it, so they have to hope that the higher load stays near that main switch. But you alluded to it there for us at the start, that we've got to think in a different way. So just explain a little bit for us. We're going to do some more work on this.
There will be some work,
will be some work,
it will
yes.
come. There is the heating factor when you put two, let's say, heating generating items or MCBs or RCBOs side by side.
Right.
So as soon as you are not creating enough ventilation, which is a closed box,
Yep.
there is an effect which is basically exacerbating the heating between the two switches, basically.
Okay.
So, and there are different ways. So first of all, picking up on your comment about the bus bar,
Yeah.
bus bars are always fully rated, okay? So
Current gets all the way to the end.
that's what they're designed for, okay? There are some other reasons why you might decide to split the load, okay, which is not related to the bus bar. It's related how the heating can transfer as well through the bus bar,
Okay.
which is a different concept altogether. But creating spacing between certain type of circuits, it does help a lot on what is the lifetime and also the rating of the switch. Because there are all these derating factors you have to put in the equations. Anyway.
And do you think this has sort of come to the forefront now because we've got loads, continuously heavy drawing loads? I know we can talk about loads dropping off when EV charging and all the rest of it. Let's keep it basic. We probably had in the old days a shower and an electric oven, maybe those two items. Shower's going to be on 20 minutes unless you've got a teenager. They'll be on for like 75 minutes. But yeah, so you've got those. But now we've got maybe EV charger, air source heat pump, solar, which solar's actually... You could have your solar battery one actually working for 24 hours. That constantly drawing a load for the house, couldn't you, as you're going both ways?
It can be on constant load anyway, but yes, there are apparatus within your installations nowadays which will start dragging more and more current on regular basis. And this, of course, has nothing to do with the rating of the switch.
No.
And the rating of a switch is rated for the nominal current. But as soon as you start creating these effects, you have to put these into the equations. If you look at our consumer units, they all come with a table which tells you how to derate according to the amount of circuits you put into the board.
Yeah.
And if you go to constant loads, which is repetitive every day for hours and hours and hours, to 32 amp is the good example of the EV charging on some cases, is where you have to really make sure you create enough ventilations, you create enough space, and you let the heating to get out as much as possible of the switch.
And of course, another thing there to obviously factor in is the consumer unit could then be in another enclosure. How many times we've seen them put in smaller cupboards and all the rest of it, and all of these factors
There
add
are
up
those
to-
factors
yeah,
which
to-
you have to put into the equation as well.
So we're now, and you're doing it hopefully, and we'll come back to that in a minute. We're going like a high load current. You recommend maybe a blank or maybe light.
Okay, this is not for me, honestly. I can't answer that question in a good technical way. You should speak to Ian about these, okay? But what I can tell you is that the bus bar is fully rated, is really the choice of how people believes is the best way to put the circuit into the board, okay? What is clear, if you put the high current all near the main switch, you are also bearing in mind the main switch will carry up to 100 amp. So by himself is a source of heating.
Yes.
And then if you put the biggest RCBO on the side of the main switch, you have two major source of heating side by side. So my instinct, okay, from my engineering days, is basically if the bus bar is fully rated, you have to use the space as much as you can to allow as well not to create a knock-on effect on the switches.
Okay.
The main switch is the biggest one because anyway, there will be worst case scenario 100 amps going through it. And if you put a 50 amp or a 40 amp or a 32 amp just on the side of it, because it's closer, there is a better conductivity, allegedly, you generate basically two big sources of heating side by side.
It sounds, it's got a whiff about it to me, that this could be a technical CPD to me, but that's just my thinking on this one.
That is one we're working on with Lewden, because it is a complex area, isn't it?
It is a very complex area.
Yeah.
And also, you can't hide the fact that there are some preferences of people on how to install it.
Yeah.
As a manufacturer, you have to take care about these preferences, and as much as possible, as long as they're not compromising the quality of the product, the reliability of the product, you have to allow them to be used. So we're allowing them, but of course there are best practices which comes from not only laboratory tests, but what I classify as real life tests. Yeah. When you start loading in a certain way, certain boards, you see certain effects. And there are a lot of case studies we do internally to try to understand what is the best way to lay out, at least from the laboratory point of view. Yeah.
And we're going to draw on all of that information because, as always, you're a fantastic supporter of the eFIXX CPDs. You've done many in the past to educate the electrical industry, and we've talked about this off camera as well, the actual trying to get that information into the right hands so people can make
it will
the right
become,
decisions.
yeah, I think it's the right time to produce a piece of information on that, especially for the industry, how it's moving. And you mentioned as well in the conversation before heat pumps and so on. Yeah. That will be another source of a high power consumption, which needs to be looked after, honestly.
And it's nice to see the face behind the people that do support those. So people who do our CPDs and we see them come flooding in and all the rest of it don't realise it's yourself. Just makes that decision.
It's Ian, yes, the technical engineer. But it's an effort for us as well, because it's not always, and I think that's the benefit of you guys, because you're helping us to translate something which is in between our brain and tests we do behind the scenes to something which can become visible and in a very simple way, instead of going through flip charts and graphs, okay, as engineers normally does, to overcomplicate a simple topic, you're making simple. And for us, the crucial point is how to use properly what you're buying from Lewden or other manufacturers, which basically makes the job you're doing safe and sounding for the years to come. Yeah. That's where I see the things, honestly, in this particular CPD we are discussing now. Yeah,
yeah, it's good, and thank you for that. Now, coming to you, we spoke of this, so you mix them around?
Yeah, well, yeah, on that, like I said, obviously a lot of the older school electricians do still load them highest to lowest, like from the main switch. I've noticed a lot of the younger lads seem to be doing it, mixing them up by putting like smaller one and breaking them up that way. But it would be good if you had, like you said, some kind of training out there, like some kind of written spec or anything.
We've done the scripts. All right, okay. So we're on it. Gone. Yeah. So
no, just because some of our customers as well actually give us. So like a lot of the builders, they'll tell us how they want us to load the board.
Oh, right. Okay.
So obviously, without anything out there for us to show them, we just have to follow what they ask us to do. So yeah, so in like the written specifications for some of the builders, they'll show you how they want the generic board setting out, and it's always highest to lowest.
Yeah. So some education there.
Yeah, there is some education.
There is a bit of a need.
Yeah, I mean, people playing. Joe Hammond's just fessed up. He's always he's a descending protective device person.
He doesn't twist or double over. We'll get to that.
But the problem is a lot of the ones that you buy pre-made and pre-assembled automatically come that way as well.
Yeah, you can do that on the pre-made, pre-assembled. But again, you go down. Sometimes we do a lot of pre-made, pre-assembled. You mentioned before the locking as well on the consumer unit, which we do for these type of applications. And in that case, most of the time they ask us to pre-populate the board. But again, you go back to certain specs that you have to follow on what comes first and what comes after, you know.
But we're going to see some changes in maximum demand and diversity as well. So what
Oh, yes.
So what we've been looking at historically, and I taught it for years, there'll be a rethink on that because of the type of loads now we're putting into installations that are on for a considerable amount of time. So the two things will come hand in foot. So if at the minute you're effectively learning from Instagram, I would suggest, or places like that, where you see these pretty consumer units with gaps in them and blanks and all the rest of it, to have the knowledge behind it, you know, knowledge is king, and so it can get you over the line, so you understand why you're doing it. So yeah, I think, but yeah, between us, if your consumer units are coming out in November, I would think before the festive period for those who celebrate it, we might have a training package that can add a little bit of meat to the bones that are out there.
You saw it in the video of that dual stack board. You've got the RCD rated at 8 amp, EV charger right next to it, and yeah, it's you touch an EV after it's been charging all night. The MCB is warm.
And you said about your old consumer unit that you had.
Yeah.
You said, didn't you, that you'd found that was warm. And what else did you find about that when you did a little bit of personal investigation on your consumer unit? You said there was an issue in there as well that was.
Yeah, the MCB for the EV charger had come loose. So.
Come loose?
Yeah.
But loose in what term? In which
From the bus bar.
From the bus bar?
The screw, yeah.
That's probably thermal cycles, yeah. That could happen if it was really heating quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's thermal cycles, yeah.
Yeah, but we're all learning on the job here, aren't we? As we keep putting more and more stuff in, you know, it's that classic case of, isn't it? We get an issue in the electrical industry, we'll flip and pivot on the issue. But that was in your own installation. You had an EV car. You were an early adopter.
Yeah.
You weren't.
And I knew it was talked.
Yeah. You knew it was talked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, that thermal. Yeah.
It can happen. It's quite rare, honestly. But anyway,
we won't mention the manufacturer of your consumer unit because obviously we don't want anyone coming back at us. But yeah, so it's a new world. It's a new world. Yeah. And these are from dwellings. You know, we used to say, don't we? You know, an industrial job, you get a big socket sets out and all the rest of it. You know, there's a lot of innovation, a lot of technical stuff now in a dwelling.
Look at these. We went through a phase where our consumption in house probably dropped in terms of the last, let's say, 30 years, because we started using more white goods, which are more efficient and so on. Now we are basically bouncing back because there will be not less efficient, but more demanding appliances in terms of energy. So we need to translate basically the kilowatts we are burning through gas into kilowatts coming from your electricity, basically.
I saw a good presentation on that last week in London.
Oh, really? I
really
saw.
explained. Yeah, explained it really well.
Was explaining that. Yeah,
really well. Not as good as the fireside chat. I think that was your favourite with Claire Miller. I think that was your favourite. So just to break this up, just give ourselves a pause and a moment for thought. We can come back to any of these bits in a minute. We've got that exciting race coming up. I know people are sitting there wondering whether Gary and Rick, obviously, you know, Rick's he beat the two Joes quite comfortably, didn't he? So he's taking on, obviously, the one and only. Yeah.
Twin and Earth Hayes.
Yeah. Takes on
Smart Home Richard Gomes.
Okay. What's the challenge?
To wire an RJ45 plug.
Okay.
Which you shouldn't. I mean, really, it should be nailed on Rick with his smart home experience. I mean, if anyone wants to put in the comments who will wire an RJ45 free plug on the end of a cable faster, you or you or Rick.
Both ends as well, wasn't it?
Both ends.
And then it was checked as well at the end as well. So it's fraught with danger for one of us, as you can well imagine. And obviously, yeah, Rick is a lot younger and nimbler than me. But I'm not going out. I'm not going down. I'm not suggesting. Okay.
Let's have a look.
Last time out, we witnessed the epic battle of Rick versus Joe's, where me and Joe 3PO went up against Rick in a series of grueling mini-games. It was a close contest, but ultimately Rick emerged victorious. But now we're switching things up and pitting Rick against a new challenger, the one and only Gary Hayes. In this round, they will be trying to gain the title of the fastest Category 6 cable terminator. So sit back, relax, and get ready for an exhilarating showdown as Rick and Gary put their skills to the test in this termination challenge. Rick versus Gary. So it looks like Gary's up first as it comes to terminating the cable. But wait, it's unusual to have not heard an excuse yet. Surely there's one coming soon.
I've got no glasses on, so I've got to get me.
And there it is. Let's speed it up a bit, shall we?
My glasses aren't on, green and white. This is the bit that's I'm usually horrific at because I can't see any of the colours. Okay, so there we go. So just check the colours. I can't see any of them. try the other end. This bit I don't like. I'm not good at this. This is the bit I can't see. No glasses again. Fifth excuse.
Who's the slowest person to do this today?
Me.
Aiming for the bottom.
Yeah, aiming for the bottom. Anything above the bottom's good. All right, let's go with that again. I've got no idea where it's going to work. I can't see. Can't see. Can't see. Oh, don't let go of them. Had a disaster there. So, can't see. Oh, can't see anything now. That one, I couldn't see them, so. Can you see them, Gordon? Because I can't. We're going with that, I don't know. So, there we go. Passed. Second last.
Rick versus Gary. Couple of mistakes from Gary, but overall a decent effort. Let's see how Rick gets on. Hopefully no excuses.
What? This blade's blunt.
Get a bigger pair of snips.
Oh no. Oh, get in there.
I'm nearly out of chips, Rick. I'm really...
Orange. Oh, my phone's ringing now and all. Jeez. Oh. Oh no.
There's only 10 pork pies left.
I haven't made any excuses up yet.
Oh, look at that! Hey.
This obviously got some leather in yesterday.
Sounds like an excuse, doesn't it? Excuse, doesn't it? Wow, that's a lot. Did you need that many circles?
Yeah. Again, like I say, I think it's had a bit of hammer in that tool. Oh!
We've only got another couple of hours before this show closes.
It's I'll be back in about 20 minutes.
Okay.
I know it starts white and orange.
Incentive. Hey?
Come on. Hang on. Oh, wait, brown and white brown.
Are you ready?
Done. 5 minutes.
20. 5.5, isn't it?
Might not work yet.
I don't think it will work.
That means it's failed. Failed, Derek.
Rick versus Gary. So there we have it. Gary shows Rick his first loss of this game show, beating him by almost 2 minutes with a time of 3 minutes 26 compared to Rick's 5 minutes 22. Rick can take some respite in the fact that he only came up with 4 excuses, whereas Gary came up with a shocking 14. Quite embarrassing if you ask me. That's all we've got time for today, but tune in next time to see who Rick will be facing next. Rick versus Gary.
Oh, well, that was great. You having a moment there, Gary?
Oh, sorry, I was just over in winner's enclosure. I tell you, I would have took Chaos on. I'd have destroyed him at the weekend. Okay, so yeah, brilliant. Yeah, so I went. I like winning. Yeah,
the first time you've won something.
I was
like
useless. I mean, yeah, I wasn't very good.
Yeah.
So, but mine worked at the end of the day. It was the last one. I let go of them. I left them too short. All the excuses are there. But at the end of the day, I beat Rick, so that's good. Now, that means I was a winner. But unfortunately, today, you didn't win, did you? When we were over doing the challenge, obviously, Giovanni's fictitious time up there at the top was your time to aim for. Yeah, okay. So that means it's time to see what happened over in the Greencable room. So when we finish the job, this happens.
The skill there, unfortunately.
Now, I would suggest you must leave it absolutely immaculate when you leave. I bet even after there's concrete floors everywhere. I bet there's not an inch of anything to do electrically.
Getting the young lads to do the same is a task.
Okay, yeah. So, but again, you're flying that flag. Now, thank you very much for Greencable. They sponsor the Greencable room, okay, and we can find the link in the description, Gordon, can't we?
We can for
Explain to me
Greencable.
what they do for us for electricians.
Well, there's a good reason to tidy up, because everything that goes into that bin turns into cash.
Okay, and how does that cash come into my pocket?
Well, they come along and you fill your bin. Well, they drop off an empty bin. You fill it up with scrap cable, and then once it's full, ring them up, tell them the secret location you've left the bin. You don't just leave it out in the street for the guy who picks up our scrap. If we do these things, and they'll tip it into the back of the truck, wait, and they'll pay the cash into your bank the same day. It doesn't come in pound notes these days. Can't do that in the scrapyard, or not most of them anyway.
No,
but
found one
yeah,
anyway.
and it's a great service. And the more people, click on the link below, the more people who sign up, the more areas they'll spread to. So I think they're up. They're nearly to Wigan.
Okay. But again, the only way you can get them to Wigan is to fill it in, do the link and all the rest of it. It's just turning your cable into cash with no hassle, which is what we like. So we like to support them. So that's in our Greencable room. So thank you very much for them. Link is in the description. Gordon, did you add it in?
I did.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. Okay, so that's what we're up to on that one. We've still got another segment. So again, we've got Joe Hammond's first ever segment coming up as well, and it's hilarious. So we're getting better and better as we go. Not as good as me winning. Obviously, you're a loser, but I was a winner, and that's the main thing, isn't it, as we go through. So that's it. So we've seen the van today.
Yeah.
Last time I saw it was disappearing out of Manchester.
It was you driving it.
Well, no, I waved it goodbye though. Didn't recognise either of the drivers in it. So you used to have a van, didn't you, back in the day?
Used, yeah.
Okay. And then did van got borrowed?
Yes.
Did they bring it back?
No.
No, okay.
I'm
So,
afraid.
okay, what's the thinking behind the van? We've been in it today. We loved it, didn't we? We've been in the van today.
So it's a Lewden catalogue on wheels. But obviously we know about loads of great products. But obviously busy electricians, you're busy doing that stuff. You don't necessarily discover new products until they sort of appear in front of you.
There is this element of feeling and touching anyway, where you can understand the quality of the product by looking at it more than on screens or paper. And we see the benefit of using these for electricians and anyone in trade really, where they can learn more about us and learn more about what the type of products we are trying to deliver into the marketplace. Yeah,
and we obviously did a little van tour of it first thing, obviously when I got my AI magnet and all the rest of it. But where can I see it? So that van's based in Braintree, okay, but it gets all over the country.
It does.
What gets it to a location and what means that I can get into the back of that van and obviously get to touch some of the products that you've got in there? So how do I get the van to a location? Where will I know where it is?
We tracking these through, social medias, first of all. Secondly, for the next season, which will start again in January, there will be a full tracker on our website as well.
Okay.
Which will track the van live, basically, where it goes, how he's spending the time, and basically you can see when it will be near where you live or where.
A bit like the Santa Claus app in December.
It does.
Yeah, so we can see where it is.
It's similar to these. Yeah, as soon as we find the name as well for the van. Yeah,
well,
you never know.
Hopefully there's some good ones coming through. And best real place to follow you, I think, is on Instagram.
Instagram is the best place for us.
Okay.
We do as well other social medias, but Instagram is the one where we're finding at the moment as well good interactions with people as well. Yeah. In terms of direct messaging and understanding and interacting, really, and having feedbacks.
Yeah, and talking of that, there's another thing I really like. There's a few people out there doing it. Of course, that means you're doing it because you do lots of things to support the industry. Is that you're inviting people into your factory, say, for half a day.
Yeah.
So you're actually getting that feedback from the electrician. They can see what you do, so they can see what effort you put in to make products come out the door, and you get the feedback. Is that driving forward some of the parts of the business that maybe we're not aware of because you're speaking to those electricians?
It does. I mean, it depends really what type of audience you have on site, There are some very good conversations going on, and one of the things that we like to have is really feedback. Feedbacks are sometimes things that you're not really entirely happy to hear. Okay, as always. But if you're taking really in a very positive way, is a good excuse to improve whatever you do. Most of the time it's products. Sometimes it could be as well service oriented. Sometimes it could be as well a small trick like an accessories which can do things, And this was when we decided as well to develop things like the real grommets for the rear entries, where cables can be damaged with the metal, and therefore picking up on the feedback we received, the technical office decided to design and develop this particular type of rear grommets, you know.
And I'm sure you're the sort of person that's going to come back and think about where they're starting now to try and position another set of holes like it did with Ross, where they're behind that bus bar. So when they're dressing them up, obviously it makes a better visual
I'll
look.
tell you, that video you showed me from Ross is quite interesting, honestly. I mean, put it in this way, if there is a good reasons, for instance, to have some knockouts in the area, it's not really super complex unless you just need to change the tools, don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But they are pressing and punching tools, which, let's say, you can adjust quite easily. Hence, having a set of different rear knockouts, it can be done. You open up other type of questions, but anyway, leave this for the engineers to find out the way to solve it. But yeah, it's quite good. It depends really what people looks and when they do the wiring, honestly. Yeah. Some people, they prefer to have all the wires, for instance, fully accessible, more than having hidden behind the DIN rail. And I think you use a very good statement when you describe it, Instagram-like type of installation. Yeah. It's always good to have something like this, which was done for a purpose of a video to sell the purpose of the board, you know. But once you are on site and you need to track as well cables, you want sometimes to have the full visibility. Yeah. Unless you do the dressing as Karl does, you know. but that's basically how it works. And you want to have free hands, free space to work with your wires, you know.
Okay. Driver was in today. He caught your ear today. Was it Graham?
Graham, yes, Graham. Absolute fantastic. We love Graham. He's welcome back any time.
He is, gentleman.
Yeah.
But he dropped a few that you'd like to let out to the Lewden team.
Well, obviously we had to ask Graham. He tours around with the whole Lewden company.
Oh, really?
He's always there, yeah. And he was there. So I said, well, who's the best person you like to be out? And he brought out two names, yeah.
Okay.
So he said, obviously, he's on the board there. John, where's John on there? Can we see John?
Yeah, he's low, isn't he?
John Rogers.
Yeah.
Slow John.
606.
Yeah, he likes John's sales banter and knowledge of the product and things like that. So he thinks John is the best person to be on the van with from a technical perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But if you want a great night out, you make sure you're with Graham Smith. So there you go. Check the expense claims when they come back in.
Yeah, fine tooth comb on that one. Yeah, so yeah, it was great. So it came up, and again, long trek to obviously have that footage. You obviously got a touch in the van. We've got some nice photographs as well of you receiving the award, which will go out on social media as well. So again, thank you very much for the residential installer of the year. So we're holding off now because we've got Hammond up. Are you comfortable you've cleared so far what we need to talk about?
I think we'll just keep some good van names coming in. We are going to get to the register later on, but if you've been on for ages and haven't put a comment in for ages, I won't see it because there's only a limit to how far I can go back.
But put me in the register. You want to put comment, put me in the register. Maybe you'll get early enough in there then.
Van Killer. Coming up to Halloween. That's the one that got here. Lou Vander. Lulu. So we've got that one. Yeah. Lexi. No, that's someone in the comments. But there we go. So Azuri Electrical, definitely, he wants to win this.
Not from yesterday. Yeah.
He doesn't want a prize delivered to him because you never even promised one. So,
yeah. So put in some. Yeah, keep those names going. But we'll have to go all the way back. I can't remember what Craig Gifford said. It was a musical themed one right at the start.
Craig, put it back in again.
Yeah, put it back in again. But that was good on the van. But now it's time to hear from the viewers in terms of some of the comments we get in. So we've got our latest team member, Joe Hammond, who's been in a few weeks now, and he's been trolling. He's new to social media on this, and obviously we get thousands of comments every month. But when you've released your first video and people chip in with those comments, some people take it to heart a little bit, don't they? Until you develop that leather-like thick skin.
Well, you got it all over your face, so that's handy,
yes, exactly. We've had years of it, so there we go. And yeah, so he's had a little delve through.
So he's got his own segment. We're going to call it Comments Corner. Is
Comments
that right?
Corner.
So let's join Joe.
Let's see what we got.
Hello and welcome to Comments Corner, the section where I get to look at some of the best and worst comments from the last few weeks from you, our viewers and keyboard warriors. It's been flat out over the last few weeks with the eFIXX team being at events here, there and everywhere. We've been down to Farnborough at Screwfix Live, we've been to Birmingham at the Solar and Storage event, and we've been to London for the inaugural Sparketing Live 2023. And Gordon's been to Portugal. I didn't get an invite to that. You getting that? At eFIXX Live, we had the amazing Darren Cranis on from the ECA, telling us all about how they can support anyone within the electrical industry from small to big businesses. And we've had some great comments coming in, with Bramcott Electrical 1088 saying that he is looking at joining ECA and taking on apprentices and would like more advice on taking them on, as it worries him that if he's doing things correctly with new learner apprentices. Thanks for that, Bramcott Electrical. We'll be sure to get that message to Darren for you. Darren, of course, had a go on the electrician's wall, which did lead to some people believing that it may have been fixed, with Neil Bridgman saying that he was certain the ECA sponsored eFIXX at some time, so this is clearly a fix. Well, Neil, I can assure you that this wasn't a fix, although Darren did have a little bit of support during his install, just a little leg up. We were also able to show you a skit of myself and Joe OG visiting Drayton Manor at the 30 Under 30 Awards. You were all asked to caption the photograph of me and Joe going down the log flume, and you didn't disappoint, with comments like "broke back Drayton Manor," "wet regs," and questions raised as to why I had my arm around Joe. Well, what can I say? I just like a cuddle. But my favourite comment by far was from Roger Brookfield, where he said, "Joe 3PO looks a little like Richard from Guess Who game." The beginning of this week, we released the Easy Bond Plastic Earth bonding clamp video onto Instagram, and to say its polarised opinion would be an understatement of the century. The clamp-like device utilises a ratchet fixing mechanism to securely fasten the exposed copper wire against the metal pipe, and we've called this an innovative solution which ensures reliable and effective grounding. Well, it's safe to say there's a lot of you out there that don't agree, with Rudolph Appel saying, "Seriously, a plastic clamp on a safety earth bonding? To which safety standard does this comply? Is it third party approved? Who did approve this?" And Otto in Square saying, "That's not mechanically sound. Is it even accepted by the 18th edition regs?" But they do get a little bit more hurtful. A Told says, "Classic electrician, dropped rubbish on floor then walked away." Yeah, classic. Andy Arnie Arnold says, "Who uses a knife to open a bag? Use your teeth, you degenerate." It's teeth. T-E-E-T-H. Okay? Well, for those of you who do have concerns about this product, it does conform to BSI 951-2009 and manufactured to ISO 9001-2015. So my advice is to go out there and actually give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? So I finished with the first short that I've starred in, and a big thanks to Joe and Rick for helping me put this together. This was for the ARC LED lighting, and I was that excited about doing my first short, I finished it with a bit of a dance at the end, which, as you can imagine, really got the comments going. With guests in the doghouse saying the dance at the end was everything, and NDJC6 saying, "Product looks good, not so sure about the dad dancing." But my favourite comment came in from Rose Ironworks, who says, "What the actual knobbing duck? Did you get that screwdriver? Call yourself a professional channel?" Well, the screwdrivers can be found at most trade shows up and down the country, and I never leave home without mine. That's it for this week's Comments Corner. Be sure to keep firing them in, and who knows, you might even get yourself a mention. But until next time, it's ta-ra for now.
Joe 3PO adds something a little bit different to this team, and that's what we wanted. Fantastic, Joe. Hopefully he's still on in an early night. He's got two small kids, so he's probably absolutely rinsed. Brilliant.
That was, and it's say we love comments. About, everyone likes feedback. Yeah, we take an interest in this clamp. It's gone berserk as a short. We've only done it as a short video at the minute, and it's doing. We'll see. It gets a lot of comments, but. Yeah.
One thing, we probably didn't quite get the 6mm overhang, did we? So there is an overhang length on it.
Yeah, when you put the cable around the part, it's supposed to still stick out that hole by 6mm when it's clamped.
Yeah, and I think I did 6mm before clamped, so I could have just done with a bit longer when we stripped ours. But yeah, these are things. Puts out there in the public domain, okay, on that one. And it was quite nice because Mr. Cranis also, when he was on, he brought up about the meter box, which is a thing that maybe you've become a little bit obsessed with yourself, okay, over the last couple of years. But we we went and talked about basic insulation on show, didn't we? And we went back and revisited that. And Darren's thrown in a little bit on that. But you found an interesting picture from somebody on social media yourself. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, Britain's leading single-storey flat roof solar installation specialist who's scared of heights sent in this photograph.
Okay,
Mark Allenson.
So yeah, okay. So what was the premise of his social media post for this one then?
So this is quite a common thing in new build homes. Obviously, someone's brought an armoured cable in because the consumer unit is some distance away, more than the 3 metres limit from the DNO. That's pretty common. They've used what's an earth clamp that's used commonly in street lighting installations. Yeah. And then obviously as a result of that, there's some basic insulation peeping out the top into the isolator.
Keen-eyed amongst you'll notice they have run a separate green and yellow conductor along with their 2-core armoured, but I'd just like to do a little bit of breaking news. In the innovation of cables, they do a 3-core. So you could have got away with that, maybe. You could have had an extra core in there. Yeah. They obviously decided not to. Yeah, breaking news for those people.
Another one, Gary, if you shop around, Doncaster Cables will do that 3-core in the correct colours as well. So you don't have to have just phase colours.
You don't have to think.
You don't have to think, so you can get that. Okay. And then a lot of people flagged up about the cutout being on a slope. That is pretty standard practice for DNOs when it comes in with the hockey stick at the front.
And we've done this before, and there is actually a layout for this, isn't there? You've done a lot of investigations. There's a standard layout practice for this where stuff goes. There is a limited amount of area which is not filled up by the metering company or the supply authorities, whoever's owning that part. And obviously we've taken that space. We've got the right to ask that space back, haven't they? So if you fill it up with stuff that they don't want in there, they can change their mind at any time. Okay, so that's allowed now. So that would be, so I've gone and seen that. Let's imagine we're just working on the basic insulation on show. So the conductor insulation's on show. That is now allowed because you enter that electrical enclosure by a key or tool, and that's fine.
The great and the good have decided that's fine, yeah. We wouldn't say it's best practice.
It's a C3, I think, is it? Requires improvement. Now, I'm not suggesting to jump in here with a massive answer. I'm throwing you this one. So it's probably a little bit of an area. There's a bit of room for innovation there. That's something that I know that you're interested in, always innovating. We'll leave it with you. Okay, maybe that's something that in the future, maybe a company like yourself may be able to solve that problem. But it solves a problem that we found a long time ago. Don't know if we bring the photograph in, I can't say what location we're in here. So this here, we found this and had to sort of run past it, didn't we? Okay, but now that's okay. So it's a required improvement.
Yes, okay. So they're saying they wouldn't. Yeah, obviously the approval body behind the NIC, something like that, wouldn't condemn that installation. Wouldn't make anyone do any corrections. I know Carl's going, look at that. It's like those cables are. Yeah, it's. But the only thing that hasn't been solved is the obviously protection of those outgoing tails. So they're more than 3 metres, and same in the one that Mark Allenson sent in, that it's the long tails that still cause people the issue. So my idea, and this is one for Giovanni to solve, would be instead of just having the multi-pole switch in there, would be to replace that with an MCB.
Oh, okay.
Because loads of times we see isolator, then another isolator with a fuse in.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the common one.
Right. That's the common one.
Yeah, but there's 2 bits of kit. You're putting in the isolator and then another isolator, and obviously 2 connections, 2 sets of losses.
Yeah, sometimes they do, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's nice. So we sort of circled in there. Mark Allison's helped us out there as well. As we're seeing these things pop up now, and yeah, it's great. So we've got a little bit more information again for the people who tuned in. I think on another platform that I'm aware of, that a video went out, and there was quite a few people the day after we did our live stream stormed in with their new information, and they told that channel that clearly that's a C3 because it's in an enclosure. And you thought, I think you've heard that yesterday. So again, yeah, that was not exactly old information that we recycled. That was quite fresh off the press, wasn't it, from Darren? So
you come across any of that, Carl? Was that
no, not really, no.
Yeah. No. Carl doesn't buy a book.
What's put up with it, would you?
No. So, we try and put it inside an enclosure, to be fair, come in low level, like doing a big surface box with a blank plate on it, to cover it all, protect it all, yeah.
Okay. We didn't think of anything less for you, though, really, did we? So, do they often centralise the consumer unit in these bigger dwellings that you're doing, or are they trying to keep them?
They try and keep them near the meter box. Obviously, it doesn't always work. It depends on the style of the house, doesn't it? But generally, most of the meter boxes are, well, a lot of them have integral garages, So, and the consumer unit's in the garage, and the meter box is pretty much on the outside of it. Yeah, straight through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great answer. That. So names, give us your top name at the minute. Have we got a top name?
Top name, right off. Yeah, we've got Giovanni, which I think has got to be got to be up there.
That's going to be a tough one for Giovanni to say whether that one's one.
Back up here. Well, along back in here. Lewden Vanzoni.
Oh, I love it.
We like that one. Ollivander. Lucy Lewden.
Yeah.
Vanderbla. So, yeah, there's got to be someone. There's got to be one in there somewhere.
This is for marketing now to sort it.
Yes, but the van hopefully will have a name soon.
Yeah.
And how do people get a Sparky Lewden, Giovanni? That's what people want. That was another question that came in.
What?
How do people get a Sparky Lewden?
How to get that? Just request to our marketing people.
Yeah.
They do email these regularly.
No one's spotted where it'll Sparky Lewden.
Yeah, it's been there all day.
Hanging around all night. Poor chap.
Positioned it accordingly. We hope somebody spotted it. So again, probably another easy way for electricians to find that is probably through Instagram, innit? So if you're on Instagram.
It is Instagram. We receive a request for the Sparky over Instagram.
Okay.
And marketing people, they're normally taking care by mailing it. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's good. Now, we've been obviously at Solar Storage, this just gone yesterday. We've had a busy week. It was yesterday. Let me get a grip here. We went there yesterday. Okay. Well, I'm back there again tomorrow. So if you are at Solar Storage in Birmingham, okay, you can see me on the Give Energy stand. I'm going to be there with some great people as well. At 10:30, I'm doing an impromptu fireside chat to about 30 people if you want to come along to that one. And I've got Griff from G-Tech, who's won the, let me get it right,
Training Provider of the Year.
Training Provider of the Year. We gave him his award the other week, so another award winner as well as yourself. I've got alongside me Doncaster Cables, Aaron, the inventor of the award-winning PV Ultra, and I've got Oval Renewables. Sam's going to be on the stand as well, soon to be a second-time father, so his wife is very close to giving birth as well. And you can come along and see Joe 3PO is going to be with me. So if you want to catch up with us and you're coming to that show, please come along with us. As you walk through the door, I'm directly in front of you. Say you couldn't see us there, yeah, you've absolutely missed the first stand that's directly in front of you. So please come along.
Just a top tip, don't ask Gary about his own solar installation and don't get onto the subject of air fryers.
Okay, yeah, which I'm now an expert in both areas. Well, semi-expert. I'll never be an expert in anything, I don't think, but I'll try my hardest. So yeah, there's a great chance to come along and see us there. So if you are in, again, pop it in the comments. Remember, trying to get this register generated for that one as we go through as well. So we're close to the register time. You're feeling brave, are you?
Okay, I'm going, yeah, I'm
If you scroll back as far as you can, and we're going to attempt to give you out some of the people that have been on. We apologise if we miss you out, especially if you're a regular viewer, but if you're a super regular viewer, you might find your name in the end credits. Always worth staying on for the very end.
It is. Right, I'll take it from the top. So, there's one above, I can't even see the name, I think it is the Ruby, but starting from that, Sean Dempsey, Paul Mycock, Azuri Electrical, Chris Oswin, the Sparky, Gifford's Electrical, # Secret Millionaire, Eddie Murphy, Chris Fox, Christopher Evans, Bobcat, Paul Mycock, Paul Potter, Roger Brookfield, Marky D, Cup of Tea, Joe Hammond, member of the team, Samsung, who does he work for? There we go. Pro Audium Tom, Shabazada Aftab, I think I got that one right. We have got some viewers. It furthest to that from Brazil. Brilliant. And Eastway Engineering from Kenya is also a regular on the channel as well. Andrew Watson, Jeremy Baggett, I've got that, Scalbraza 2, that is the person from Brazil. Pegasus Electrical and Control, huge fan of the channel, big supporter of ours. Dan the Sparking Trainer, Andrew Watson, Sockets, that tool guy, good to see you back ashore. Back. James Kane, as ever, our remote AV guy, always chips in when we have sound problems. Mark Potter, ZK, Martin W, Phil. Oh no, I'm not going there. Nice try. Someone trying to get a funny name in there. That one. Commercial gas engineer, Cup T, Nathan 87, Aaron, Kevin Osborne, O'Reilly Jarvis, the Sparky, Alex. There's a lot of people on tonight. Bobcat, Michael Cole. Alan Chan, great to see the other day down at Solar and Storage. Fox Sake. Intrusive. Oh, God, me.
Yeah, you're not going to get caught out, are you?
Mr. Cameron, East Power Engineer in Kenya. Terry Moore. Who else we've got here? We've got Ed Price, Gary's friend. Alex. I'm getting there. RTCM.
Mr. Hunting again this week?
He's not. Chris Horn. Dorina, Nevada. I think one of your team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice try again. We had me there. Carl Robson, I think we've done Troy Boy. Whoa, I think that's it. Hold on, let's go on. I think we're repeating here now. That's it, Chris. Hold on, go. One more. Nearly there. Right, I'm going to quickly leap across to Facebook. Let's see.
Oh, we're going to go across Facebook as well.
Caroline Routledge, my wife, actually, the first one on there. So Stuart Ball, Wes Wesley, Donna Hollett, I think you're going to say, Andrew Bellis.
Brilliant. So a couple of college connections there for me. Thank you.
Yeah, hold on. Stuart Ball, Raoul Forte, Tertsi Gilbert, Izzar Ahmed, Julie Thompson, Joshua Haskley, Owen Murphy, Rebecca Riley. Oh, she does Countdown, doesn't she? Is that the same one? Richard Brooke, watching on 2 channels, Pete McCann and Servi Sios.
Thank you. I would like to say, yeah, so well done, Gordon, as well. I would never have been able to do that. My dyslexia would have got better than me, and I would have absolutely called all the wrong names out as well. I would have been agile enough to miss any of those. So it's great. You come along every 2 weeks, but it's people like Lewden Palazzoli not only supports our live streams, that supports the electrical industry. And hopefully you've appreciated, the MD's on here tonight. You've driven up from Braintree, so that's been a hell of a trek up here as well. There are people that care. And there are people that care in the residential sector as well, Anna Carl, that do a fantastic job, that are raising the standards that we expect to see across the whole of the electrical industry. And I'd like to think probably everybody who's tuned in now is also focused in on raising the standards of our industry, because they're in listening and seeing if they can pick up any of the nuggets that the pair of you have given us out today. So thank you ever so much for everything you've done there. We have got to find out who won the race walk. So that means going over to Joe in the post room.
Drum roll.
Yeah, well, you're going to press the right screen? There you go.
Just go in. So, yep, it is time for the prizes, and luckily I wasn't on the receiving end of those profanities during the register this week, so I think that's enough of that. Yes, so the prize, we've got the GT time, so the winner obviously was Carl, he's the only one who did it. He got 3 minutes 50, so well done to Carl on that, and the winner got it bang on this week at 3:50, and that is Ren Skylarks. If you go to the description, fill out the details of the Get Involved tab, and we'll send you a prize in about 2 years.
We won't. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, so if nothing else, you'll work out how to find the Get Involved tab and fill the form in, but yeah, don't hold your breath on any of those things. So, but again, if you are at a show, okay, not this one because Joe won't be there, make sure you find Joe and ask him where those prizes are that you should have been sent. We're back again in 2 weeks, got an exciting lineup. This is another one that we've been waiting for a long time to come off. Who's on next time?
So we've got Griff Thomas back on from G-Tech, who is probably the most knowledgeable person in this country.
Would you like to put probably in that sentence?
Is probably the knowledgeable person on renewables and everything to do with renewables, heat pumps, solar, battery storage. And that'll be a great one. It was fantastic when he was on last time. And joining him is the team from Sunsync. We don't know whether we've got Keith yet, but we could have Deputy Keith's coming in. We spent some time with them earlier this week. Some great innovations coming out there. And so we've got new battery storage, code of practice coming out soon. The solar one's already out. The EV charging one's been refreshed as well, so we can dig into all those things. And you'll find out loads of things that you're probably fitting that you don't need to.
You're still going there. He's still chipping away at it. And Griff will tell you as well, when he'll tell you live on camera what you should and shouldn't be fitting. But no, it's great. So this show's been fantastic. I'd imagine the time has drifted away. Give us an idea of how long we've been rambling on for.
It's been an hour 46, actually, Gary.
So, you were a bit nervous before you started, and we've crushed the hour and 30 that we aim for when we do these things. However, we can bring them to you every fortnight over here on Facebook, where your wife is watching, and on YouTube, hopefully, where my wife is watching, without the great support of the following people. We'd like to thank the Lasico Group for sponsoring this live stream that comes out every fortnight. We'd like to thank the marvellous Giovanni and the team down in Braintree for all their support across both the CPDs, the innovation they're bringing to the industry, and now this van, not the one that got stolen in Manchester. I didn't mention the one that got stolen in Manchester today. So the new van that they've refreshed and brought out now, with the great driver, which is Graham. So we thank you for your support across all of our platforms, and especially my eFIXX College Connections. I shouldn't say it's me, it's the team at eFIXX, it's mine. Okay, they get support as well from Lewden from that, and I've got a special little secret given to me last week that I'm going to smuggle into colleges, which is a cracking piece of innovation. And we'd also like to thank the award-winning PV Ultra, which is from Doncaster Cables, along with other innovative products such as EV Ultra Plus, named by me. So that's all good. Yeah.
Takes the credit for it all. So yeah.
I was actually there on one.
He actually invented copper. That's what I learned out this week. That was the confession this week. Yeah, he was there at the start.
No. So
Big bang.
Yeah. But I was actually in the meeting where they started the discussion for PV Ultra that won the award. So the team that was in there, they said, Gary, would you like to stay? And I stayed on for an hour and I had a little bit of input. So I think I also won the award and I named PV Ultra Plus. So pretty much, I think Aaron's, he's winging off the back of me, is Aaron. So yeah, it's Aaron, you're welcome, as Grit would say there for any help. So if any other cable manufacturers want to gobble me up, it's the time to come in and swoop down and get all the next great ideas that I'm going to come out with once I've had a word with Aaron. Okay. Happy?
And on that bombshell, I think it's good enough for us. Time to roll the credits, Joe. See if we